everyone, and welcome back to Mindset and Momentum. I'm your host, Alex. Today, we are talking about something that every single human being on this planet does, but most of us are doing completely wrong. We are talking about sleep. Hook and personal anecdote. Let me guess your routine. You stay up late scrolling through your phone, watching videos, or answering last-minute messages. You tell yourself, I just need one more hour of free time. Then your alarm rings way too early the next morning. You wake up feeling groggy, you drag yourself to the kitchen, and you pour a massive cup of coffee just to feel human. By the afternoon, you crash. You stare at your computer screen, unable to focus, trying to study or work, while your brain feels like it is swimming in fog. Does this sound familiar? Of course it does, because we live in an exhausted society. We treat sleep like an optional luxury, something we cut back on when we want to be more productive. But science shows us that this is a huge mistake. Why sleep is the ultimate superpower today. We are going to explore the incredible science of sleep. We will look at what actually happens inside your brain when your eyes close, or why sleep is the secret weapon for learning a language and boosting your memory, and how you can fix your sleep hygiene without turning your life upside down. So, get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's dive into the science of rest, 5 o'clock to 15 o'clock. Part 1. What happens when we sleep? The myth of the hustle culture. For decades, society praised people who bragged about sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night. We thought sleeping less meant you were a hard worker, while sleeping 8 hours meant you were lazy. Fortunately, modern science has completely shattered that myth. Sleep is not a time when your brain and body shut down and do nothing. In fact, while you're sleeping, your brain is working harder than ever. It is running a complex night shift maintenance program. The sleep cycles. When you sleep, your body moves through cycles, usually lasting about 90 minutes each, shifting between light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep, rapid eye movement. Deep sleep, physical restoration. This happens mostly in the first half of the night. During deep sleep, your body repairs muscles, strengthens your immune system, and releases growth hormones. If you cut your sleep short, you miss out on physical recovery. REM sleep, mental and emotional processing. This is the dream state, which happens more in the second half of the night. REM sleep is crucial for emotional regulation, problem solving, and, most importantly, for you, memory consolidation. The brain's washing machine. Let me share one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern neuroscience. Your brain doesn't have a lymphatic system like the rest of your body to wash away waste. So how does it clean itself? When you fall into deep sleep, brain cells actually shrink, allowing fluid to rush through your brain like a dishwasher. It washes away toxic waste proteins that build up during the day. When you wake up after a full night of quality sleep, your brain is physically clean. When you're sleep deprived, that toxic waste stays behind, causing brain fog, memory loss, and a bad mood. 1500 to 3000. Part 2, Sleep and Language Learning, the B1/B2 connection, how your brain memorizes while you sleep. Let's bring this directly to something practical for all of you learning English at the B1 or B2 level. Have you ever studied a list of vocabulary words or practiced grammar rules in the evening, felt completely confused, and gone to bed frustrated? Then, the next morning, you wake up, look at the same words, and suddenly they make sense. Your brain says, "Oh, I get it now." Why does that happen? It happens because of memory consolidation. When you are awake, your brain acts like a sponge, absorbing new information, phrases, and rules. But that information is fragile. It lives in a temporary storage area of the brain called the hippocampus. When you fall asleep, your brain acts like a librarian. It takes all those new English words, phrases and grammar patterns you learned during the day, sorts them out, and moves them into the long-term storage areas of your cortex. The cost of pulling an all-nighter. If you stay up late studying for an exam or trying to cram English vocabulary, you might think you're being productive. But if you sacrifice your sleep to do it, you destroy your brain's ability to store that information. Studies show that sleep-deprived students lose up to 40% of their brain's capacity to make new memories. You're literally studying hard just to forget what you learned because you didn't give your brain the night shift librarian it needed. 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Part 3. The golden rules of sleep hygiene. What is sleep hygiene? So how do we fix our sleep? Doctors and scientists talk about a concept called sleep hygiene. It doesn't mean taking a shower before bed, though that helps. It means creating the right habits, environment, and routines to invite deep, restorative sleep. Let's look at 3 practical rules to upgrade your sleep tonight. Rule 1. Master the light. Manage your blue light. Our bodies are hardwired to nature. For thousands of years, humans woke up with the sun and went to sleep when it got dark. Our biological clock, called the circadian rhythm, is controlled by light. The problem: today, we stare at glowing screens, phones, laptops, TVs, right up until our heads hit the pillow. These screens emit blue light, which tricks your brain into thinking it is midday. Your brain stops producing melatonin, the sleep hormone, and stays wide awake. The micro-action: turn off screens at least 30 to 45 minutes before bed. If you must use your phone, turn on the night shift or blue light filter. Read a physical book, listen to a calming podcast like this one, or talk to your family instead. Rule 2, control your caffeine and alcohol. What you put into your body during the day dictates how you sleep at night. Caffeine. Caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 7 hours. That means if you drink a strong cup of coffee at 4 p.m., half of that caffeine is still buzzing through your nervous system at 10 p.m. when you're trying to sleep. It blocks deep sleep, making you wake up feeling tired even if you slept for 8 hours. Try to cut off caffeine by 2 p.m. Alcohol. Many people think a glass of wine helps them sleep because it makes them drowsy. But science shows that alcohol fragments your sleep, destroying your REM sleep and causing you to wake up multiple times during the night. Rule 3, keep a consistent sleep schedule. Your brain loves routine. Going to bed at 11 p.m. on Monday, 2 a.m. on Tuesday, and 10 p.m. on Wednesday confuses your circadian rhythm. It is like experiencing permanent jet lag. Try to wake up and go to sleep at roughly the same time every single day, even on weekends. Your body will naturally start releasing melatonin at the right time, and you won't even need an alarm clock to wake up. 45 minutes to 60 minutes. Part 4. Overcoming racing thoughts at night. The midnight brain. Have you ever climbed into bed, closed your eyes, and suddenly your brain decides to replay every embarrassing thing you did in 2018 or list every single task you have to do tomorrow? This is a classic problem. When the lights go out and there are no distractions, your inner voice gets loud. The brain dump technique. How do we stop the midnight thoughts? The micro action. Keep a small notebook and pen on your nightstand. Before you get into bed, spend 5 minutes doing a brain dump. Write down everything that is worrying you, every task you need to do tomorrow, and every random thought in your head. Why it works. By transferring those thoughts from your head into paper, you send a signal to your brain. It's safe now. The information is stored securely. I don't need to keep holding on to it. Your mind can finally relax and let sleep take over. 60 minutes to 75 minutes. Conclusion: your sleep is your foundation. final thoughts from the host, Alex. As we wrap up today's episode, I want you to shift your perspective. Stop viewing sleep as an enemy of productivity. Stop treating rest as something you earn only after working yourself to exhaustion. Sleep is the foundation of everything you want to achieve. If you want to learn English faster, perform better at work, stay healthy, and keep a calm, positive mindset, your journey doesn't start with working harder. It starts with resting better. Tonight, try turning off your phone 30 minutes early, dimming the lights, and giving your brain the peaceful night it deserves. Outro and call to action. Thank you so much for tuning into Mindset and Momentum. I hope this episode helped you rethink your nightly routine. If you found value in today's conversation, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who always stays up too late. Sleep well, keep growing, and see you in the next episode.